Welcome to the Explainer. So if you're a creator, a YouTuber, or really any kind of solopreneur who's managed to build an audience, but honestly feels completely overwhelmed behind the scenes, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're exploring a seriously fascinating framework from Built by Josh Studio. It's called the Creator OS Full Stack, and it's basically a unified system designed to fix your back-end business operations once and for all. Let's get right into it. We need to start with a bit of a hard truth here. You've worked incredibly hard to build your brand, right? The content side works. You've got an audience. But ask yourself this, is your creator business running you? Because you're what we call a multi-threaded creator. You're juggling content, brand deals, finances, launches, and digital products all at the exact same time. And honestly, your back-end systems are probably a complete mess. If that hits a little too close to home, you're probably dealing with these exact symptoms right now. Think about it. Disorganized content pipelines, totally unclear financial realities where your expenses are just kind of floating around in your head, chaotic last-minute launches that stress you out, and product files scattered all over the place. It's just this overwhelming feeling of cobbling together 5 different apps that absolutely refuse to talk to each other, leaving you endlessly context switching just to keep the lights out. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by looking at the creator chaos problem, then introduce the Creator OS bundle, break down its 5 core systems, go over exactly how to get started, and finally wrap up with the bundle advantage. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Creator Chaos Problem, and specifically, the real cost of all this mess. You know, when you're just starting out, simple systems work fine, but as you scale up, things start to break. The source material highlights this brutal core truth. Every operational gap eventually costs you something. I really want you to pause and let that sink in for a second. Those scattered spreadsheets and mental to-do lists, they aren't just annoying, they are actively draining your time and your bank account. Let's get really specific about those costs. Missed follow-ups? That directly equals lost deals. Untracked expenses? Well, that translates into massive, terrifying tax surprises at the end of the year. And disorganized launches mean you're basically living in a state of last-minute panic instead of executing a confident strategy. This chaos literally has a price tag attached to it. Which brings us to Section 2. Let's introduce the ultimate fix for this, the Creator OS bundle, which is one unified workspace. Just imagine trading all that daily panic for one single workspace where everything feeds perfectly into everything else. The source material sums up this philosophy so beautifully. It says, content, business, finances, launches, and products, 5 separate problems, 5 purpose-built systems, 1 bundle. And that's the Creator OS full stack in a nutshell. It brings every single operational layer of your brand into one cohesive Notion workspace. No more bouncing between 10 different browser tabs. Everything you need is right here. Moving right along into Section 3, the 5 core systems. Let's do a plain language breakdown of what's actually inside. Now, what's really interesting is how each of these modules actually works, starting with the real engine of your brand, the Creator Content OS. Think of this as your dedicated content management system. It totally solves that disorganized content problem by giving you a drag-and-drop pipeline, a calendar, and a repurposing hub, all in one spot. It literally handles the entire lifecycle of your content, from that very first rough idea all the way to a published post and the performance review. Next up is the Creator Business OS. For the YouTubers and creators out there who are currently duct taping their brand deal tracking together in a messy spreadsheet, this is your massive upgrade. It's a full CRM and operations hub. It organizes your contacts, your leads, deliverables, and invoices. It ensures nothing slips through the cracks. And most importantly, it ensures you actually get paid on time. Then we have the Creator Finance OS. Honestly, a lot of solo creators don't have an accountant, which means their finances get completely neglected. But this system gives you a crystal clear financial picture. It tracks revenue and expenses with auto-calculated fields, manages your monthly budget, and even includes a built-in tax estimator. So no more guessing what your business is actually making. Module number 4 is the Creator Launch OS. If you're a course creator or you sell digital products, you know firsthand that launches can be incredibly chaotic. This system just stops the panic. It introduces a master tracker and a clear 6-phase workflow, from planning all the way to wrapped. It even tracks the readiness status of your assets so you know exactly what's done and what still needs your attention before launch day hits. And finally, the Creator Product OS. This one brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of organization. It pulls all those scattered product files, version logs, and bundle trackers into one centralized catalog snapshot dashboard. You can instantly see what's active, what's sitting as a draft, and what needs to be updated. Okay, let's jump to section 4. This is the bundle advantage, where we're going to do a little bit of math. Let's look at how this builds into an incredible value for your bottom line. Look, most creators are trapped in a super expensive, fragmented reality. They're paying for a stock of individual tools, maybe some mix of Notion, Trello, QuickBooks, Airtable, you name it. That usually runs anywhere from $40 to $100 a month, forever. Now compare that to the Creator OS full stack. It's a one-time payment. You buy it, you duplicate it, and you own it forever. Absolutely no subscriptions. When you really break it down, the contrast is just stark. With an individual stack, you're rebuilding workspaces from scratch, and your crucial business data is spread out across 5 different cloud vendors. But with the Creator OS, you duplicate 5 pre-built, perfectly connected systems in just minutes, straight into one controlled workspace. And instead of paying for updates through endless monthly subscriptions, you get free lifetime updates. It is vastly superior to just cobbling together a bunch of random apps. And honestly, here's the biggest number you need to know today: $58. That is exactly how much you save by getting the bundle. Individually, these 5 templates would cost you $135, but the full stack bundle is just $77 total. You're getting all 5 comprehensive systems for significantly less than buying them piecemeal. It's kind of a no-brainer. All right, final section, how to get started. And the golden rule here is don't boil the ocean. Let's look at a simple, stress-free path forward. Now, you might be sitting there thinking this sounds like a ton of work to set up. But listen, you do not have to overhaul your entire life today. The crucial point is following a simple step-by-step process. First, purchase and download the links. Second, and this is super key, start with the one system you need the absolute most. Like if content is your biggest headache, just duplicate the content OS. Explore the sample data, see how it flows, and then add your own stuff. Let that weekly workflow rhythm take over, and then just expand to the other systems as you grow and as new pain points pop up. And here's a surprising, incredibly helpful fact that pretty much removes all the friction. You don't even need a paid Notion account to use this. The completely free version of Notion works perfectly with all 5 Creator OS templates. You are literally just one $77 purchase away from total business organization with 0 ongoing software costs. How great is that? So if you're ready to stop managing chaos and finally start running a structured, scalable business, it is time to take action. Go visit builtbyjoshstudio.com right now to grab the Creator OS full stack. Or, hey, if you still want to test drive it first, you can actually download their free light sampler directly from the site to see the structure for yourself. I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought from our exploration today. Every operational gap eventually costs you something. You've seen the solution now. You know the very real price of doing nothing. So I just have to ask, what is your chaos costing you today? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and seriously, I highly recommend heading over to builtbyjoshstudio.com to reclaim your time and your business. Catch you next time.